Let's get started with the NBA playoffs and the two featured game last night that went down to the wire. To help me get into all of that, I have a two-time National Player of the Year at Duke, a national champion, by the way, who's an outstanding basketball analyst for the family at ESPN. The one and only Jay Williams is in the house. What's up, big time? How are you? By the way, I left out National Player of the Year. My bad. I left out
Hey,
National Player of the Year.
just don't skip the second pick behind the 7'6" Chinese man. That's all. You know what I mean? Just don't skip that. It's that's
you know,
just get a little bit of respect of my name, SA. That's all.
I got you. I got you. I got to give it to you. Yeah, listen, I've only called you the greatest player in the history of Duke's program. That's what I've said. I mean, I've said that on many, many occasions, okay? But let me ask you this. You watched the New York Knicks handle their business last night. How shocked were you that that happened?
First off, man, like I've known Jalen Brunson since he's been 5 years old, since his dad, Rick Brunson, took my Corvette, said he wanted to borrow it, and then took the damn thing, SA, for 3.5 weeks. That's another story for
Wow.
another day on the YouTube channel that we'll get into. Okay. That's called being punked by your veteran. But Jalen was he always wanted to hoop with us. It didn't matter if we were physical, and Rick always like punished him, like beat him up. You know what I mean? Like made the game extremely physical. And in the game last night, I guess when it was close, it didn't really shock me that they were down 20, that they came back. I think what was more shocking is the fact Boston just settled, man. And watching them shoot 60 damn threes out of their 97 shots, and then watching Jason Tatum down the stretch just settle and settle and settle. SA, you and I have talked about this. After winning a world championship and then having
Hmm.
multiple DMPs in USA basketball with Steve Kerr, like there's something for Jason Tatum to prove. And for a guy that's been there multiple times, and for a team that is full of veterans, for them to just to settle for contested three, I, I was I was angered by that. That doesn't sit right with me. And
Right.
the fact they can't change up the style or the rhythm, like it makes me
Mhm.
question, even though I know they're a better team than the New York Knicks. So yeah, I was shocked that the Knicks won.
Well, what about the argument that even though they damn sure shot too many threes, and we get that part, they're last in the league in free throw attempts. They're like third last in layups. This is what they do, and they're the reigning and defending NBA champions. So if something's not broke, why fix it? What about that argument?
I mean, it's hard for me because that's data analytics, and data analytics prove that threes are always more conventional than twos and layups. So, like the free throw aspect of it, fine. But if there's anything that kind of breaks that barrier, SA, it's the fact that they've won a world championship playing that similar style. Now, you can post up, you can get twos, you can't get away from that completely, but they are a team that is a volume 3-point shooting team. So, how about this? I'll reverse it on you because I know you're a Knicks fan. The fact that the Knicks won the game and it was a close game despite them missing 45 threes. Like, how do you feel about that?
I don't feel comfortable because I think that it's almost automatic that Boston wins game two and that Boston is the best road team in basketball. So, whatever you've been seeing from them at TD Bank Garden in Boston, it's going to be even better when they roll up at Madison Square Garden, where you know it's going to be hyped because the series, in worst case scenario, is going to be tied 1-1 and Knick fans are going to be going crazy. And that seems to play right in the hands of Boston.
Mm. No, Anthony Towns, I worry about him saying, I mean, he didn't have a great game, but just the versatility
Right.
of how Boston plays and how they bait him, how will he play? So look, I think Boston to me is the best team. I think in the Eastern Conference, OKC, I think is the best team in the league. Whether they prove it or not against Denver is another story. But I think it's going to take performances like that where New York has to keep it close. If they keep it close, and then you got Captain Crunch and Jalen Brunson and Crunch Time, then you have a legitimate shot. If they don't keep it close, it ain't gonna be no contest.
Did a performance like that from Boston last night give you cause to pause as it pertains to not them winning this series? Because most people believe they're going to win this series. But did it give you cause to pause as to whether or not they'll repeat as champions?
No, it's
No.
I I hear the sentiment like in the back of my brain. I want it to make sense, but damn, SA, over 80% of the shots they took were wide open. They were butt naked. I mean,
Right.
so I mean, like that's like knowing how they play, that game could have easily have been won by 40 points if they had knocked down
Mm.
half those shots. So like that's what they do. Now I get it. They settled a little bit. They took contested shots, Jason Tatum. But I think if anything, this team has resolve and they understand who they
Mm.
are. I highly doubt that they will have a performance as poor behind the arc as they did in game one in the entire rest of the
You
playoffs.
sound you sound more secure about them than you do about Oklahoma City because we saw them lose a game last night. We saw Chet Holmgren miss 2 free throws with 9.5 seconds left. We saw Coach Dagnall call for after Shea Gilgeous-Alexander made his dunk with 11 seconds left. We saw him call for a foul immediately, which both you and I were like, "What the hell was that about? Why would you do that?" Because all you did was give Gordon a couple of free throws, and then after that, ultimately they come down and he hits a winning three after Holmgren missed those free throws. You look at Oklahoma City, and to me, what really got exposed is how they struggle offensively on too many occasions. Their defense is like they're like piranhas, but offensively, I don't know if there's anyone you can rely upon outside of SGA. What are your thoughts about OKC?
That's why I have more confidence in Boston because they have more weapons offensively, and I've seen it before. I mean, and can we just
Mm.
revisit something for 1 second, Stephen A? Like,
Sure.
why are we fouling in the backcourt? Like, why aren't we
Yeah.
taking 4 seconds off the damn shot clock to get the ball up the court and then foul with 5 seconds? I mean, you just have Nikola Jokic, the guy that's been essentially put Chet Holmgren and Isaiah, Hartenstein in daycare center. I mean, he held the parent teacher conference, damn it, pretty much with the way he was, giving them a paddle like they were altar boys. I mean, what's going on? I don't understand why, if he's not in the game, after SGA makes that bucket, why foul immediately in the backcourt? I don't
Mm.
I get data analytics extending the game, but why not wait for them to bring the ball up the court, knowing that their best offensive weapon is sidelined and they have 0 timeouts? Why are you giving them the benefit of stopping the clock so early in the clock? That was a rookie mistake. So when you ask me why I have more confidence in Boston, is because they've been through the gauntlet before. I think I haven't seen
Hmm.
OKC get there. Doesn't mean that they can't, but I think those are the smaller types of things that happen that we see: lack of scoring options, coaching strategies that maybe there's a lot of rigidity, there's not a lot of flexibility. Those are the things that concern me about OKC.
See, when you bring up coaching in Oklahoma City, I go to Sam Presti, revered as an elite executive in this game, a master at acquiring talent, whether through the draft or through trades, accumulating picks, etc. We all know this about him. And this man, in 17 plus years as the executive running the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'd like to remind you, Jay, he doesn't have one single championship to show for it. He's gone to the finals in 2012, but outside of that, that's it. And over the years, he's had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, Reggie Jackson, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, I'm Victor Oladipo. He's had all of these players, but somehow, some way, he can never win the championship. And I would point to coaching. Billy Donovan's a good coach. Won back-to-back national titles as a coach in Florida. Scott Brooks was a damn good coach. Took him to the finals. Had him as a perennial title contender in the playoffs. Dagnall is nothing to sneeze at. I think the guy's very, very impressive. But when you ask the kind of question you asked about coaching strategy, I'm saying I have no choice but to look at that historically about that franchise when it comes to Sam Presti, because we certainly never been able to look at their roster and say they didn't have enough to win. We've been able to look at their roster on many occasions since 2011 and said, you know what? They could win it all. And it never happens.
Say some people in our world just
I
have
know.
a larger margin of error than others. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You get what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
reality is, when you stockpile draft picks the way he did, and it provides you a lot of flexibility, and something falls in your lap like SGA, and now we're considering them to be at the top. I think now is when the pressure reaches its climax, because now it's like, okay, now we needed to see results before, but now it's time. You have a guy that's going to win the MVP, that's one of the best players in the league. We talk about Edwards or Jason Tatum. You and I got into that a little bit the other day about the face of the league. I mean, look right before you, and a guy like SGA. So you are
Mhm.
right, but I think it's reaching its peak right now, because now this is what we need to see, it reach the pinnacle now. Now it's time for them to win it.
By the way, I appreciate you bringing that up because you were making the argument that Jason Tatum was the face of the league, and I'm like,
No,
last night ain't the. I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying.
piggybacking off of
That's what
last
I'm
night
saying.
ain't the greatest moment to bring that. Ain't the greatest moment, Jay. Ain't the greatest moment to bring that up. Even though I believe in the brother, I do. I do. Listen, before I even move on from this, how can we talk about last night's game and not bring up Nikola Jokic? 42 and 22 and 6. And I mean, on the court with the guy that's expected to beat him out for league MVP honors with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who finished with 33 and 10. No slouch. But Jokic is something special, man. He really is. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else. He can't jump onto a curb to save his life. And nobody can stop him. And considering that and the way Russell Westbrook is playing,
You're giving him the benefit of the
yes,
doubt jumping onto the curb. I'm talking about he can't jump over an eyelash.
that's right. And you can't stop him. And him and Gordon play bully ball. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, they might go to the conference finals. Your thoughts about Denver?
I mean, obviously, when you lose some of the pieces that they had defensively, it led to a lot of question marks. But I've said it before, SGA is going to win the MVP. He's the best player in basketball. Best player in basketball. It's unorthodox. It ain't the sexiness that people want that come along with it, but he can dislodge anybody off of their spot. I mean, Zubac did the best. The best individual performance we've seen against him was in the last series versus the Clippers, and it was at least somebody that held their ground. I mean, ain't too many people in the world built the way Zubac is in order to hold their ground against him, and the way they kept digging down into the spots, and he never really caught the ball in the operational area where he was comfortable.
Right.
But watching him last night, man, it was like a backyard beating. He did whatever he wanted. And look, man, we got to do 44 and 22. God damn. That's it's gonna be hard to stop that. And I don't see nobody on their team stopping that.
Neither do I. Let's move on to a couple other series. Minnesota, Golden State. I got Minnesota in 6, bro. I think they're too big. I think Ant-Man is too great. I think that they're too good defensively. They have too much size. I can't imagine the only way Golden State can beat them is Golden State shooting the lights out and Minnesota can't find a basket. Your thoughts about that series?
Brother, when we're on TV, can you not use the word girth? Because you have to understand, I am a child, and I'm just gonna start laughing because I wanted to pause you the other day so bad, but I couldn't do it. I'm a child.
My bad,
Yeah,
my
I know.
bad.
Anyway, uh, I, I'm gonna take Golden State. I'm gonna take Golden State.
Really? How they gonna do it, Jay?
Because
How they gonna do it?
I don't think the sides, you keep talking about sides, but if I have spacing and shooting, that negates sides. Because now the sides got to guard me on the perimeter. I think Minnesota's going to be forced to play smaller than what we think. If Rudy
Mm.
Gobert wants to guard Draymond Green or Looney in these pick and pop scenarios, then good luck to him. Good luck to him skating around on the perimeter, trying to chase around all the shooters of Buddy Hield. And I mean, I give Steve Kerr a lot of credit. Whether GTP was sick or had issues, like playing Buddy Hield a lot, that's floor spacing. That helps him tremendously. So yeah, I hear the thing about size. And also, I'm gonna give you another one, essay, because I want to hear what your thoughts on it. Ant Edwards, at the beginning of the year, said he wanted to play Golden State, obviously because of USA
Yeah.
basketball, Draymond Green, the trash talk, and all the stuff that happens, right?
Hmm.
He didn't know he was going to get Jimmy Butler. So I'm over here saying,
That's true.
okay, Ant, I love you. Ant-Man, Superman, Batman, Lakers in 5. I love
Lakers in
all that.
5.
I love walking around the arena after beating the Lakers and talking trash, talking shit to everybody. I'm all for that. You about to get a grown ass man now, somebody that's an older version of you. His name is Jimmy Butler. So that's a matchup you're gonna have to take. I don't think he's gonna be on Steph Curry. I think he's gonna take Jimmy Butler. I know Jimmy Butler's gonna have his ass. So I want to see how Ant does it against him. That's different. I love Bron. I love Luca. I love KD. I love Devin Booker.
Hmm.
I love Jamal Murray. You talking about all offensive minded dudes. Jimmy
Hmm.
Butler's that dude in the trenches. I call him a technician.
Number one, he's not 100%. He's not 100% healthy. And number two, that's a relatively easy answer for me. Jimmy Butler's great. Mad respect to him. But I'd rather guard Jimmy Butler than be chasing around Steph Curry. I don't want to be chasing Steph Curry all over the damn place. We saw what Kyrie Irving did to Ant-Man last year. You understand what I'm saying? When you going up against the smaller guards that can sniper you out of there from long range, that can dance on you or whatever, that's problematic. That's not Jimmy. Jimmy's a man amongst boys. Jimmy's physical, but he's a different kind of beast. And I think the kind of beast Ant-Man would more easily embrace than the alternative. That's my answer to that question, Jay.
Can I tell you why I hope you are right? Because if I'm Jimmy,
Okay.
I want to be in your head the whole damn game. Please guard me. I'm talking to you. We are exchanging. This is intellectual warfare. If you're built for it, let's see if you're really built for it. Like, and that kind of exchange on a game to game, 24/7 basis is exactly the type of mental chess match I want to see if Ant can withstand. I want to see it.
Let me move on from this subject to something a bit closer, more dear to you. Ant-Man and Minnesota are going against Golden State because they bounced the Lakers out of there in 5. What did you think about the job J.J. Redick did coaching the Los Angeles Lakers this season and these playoffs? And how surprised were you that they ended up home in 5?
I wasn't as surprised that they ended up home in 5. I thought game 4 could have went a different way down the stretch if the ball bounces a different way. The calculated bet of playing his starters the third and fourth quarter is an unorthodox one. But if they had lost by 10 or 15, I was like, okay, what are you doing? It was, and I hear what people say about how that then translates into game 5.
Okay.
How do I say this the correct way? I'm just going to say it. He lost I don't know what happened with Jackson Hayes. I don't know how you just lose confidence to that extent in Jackson Hayes, especially when you're getting beat up on the blocks, when you give up 18 offensive damn rebounds, right? You need size in there. But there was something that I do trust JJ's intuition. There is a learning curve that I think JJ will have in this league. I do often wonder, though, and SA, you and I know him very well. When he engages in battle and he sees red, sometimes that genius gets combated a little bit with the competitive fire where this is what it has to be. And I think that's something that we still need to see him be fine-tuned with. We've seen him lose his cool a little bit. You've seen it. You've seen it when you've exchanged with him a little bit. It gets heated. Then it kind of becomes personal. He loses the strategy aspect of it. I'm wondering if that happened a little bit throughout this aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think he can do with Luka? And what role do you think LeBron should play, if any at all, in helping Luka maximize his potential now that you are stuck with him being a Los Angeles Laker, essentially?
I mean, I think what JJ did calling them out, saying we weren't in championship shape. I mean, who the hell is that referring to but one person? That's nobody else on that team is out of shape like that. So look, if you, I said this before, accountability is not hate. It's the price of the damn throne. And, obviously Steph has made improvements on the defensive end. He put on weight. He's worked on it. He is a marginal defender. He's a serviceable defender. Luka is not. So that's number one. And I think number 2, LeBron knows what it is. I mean, at this stage, your team made the move, and he had to know, somebody had to call LeBron James on the phone and say, yo, like he's earned that respect. There's no way they made that move without him. Now he can say whatever he wants to say. It's LeBron. I respect that, but ain't nobody making no move on your show without calling you. I know that for a fact. Ain't nobody making a move in my company without calling me. I know that for a fact. So if that's happening, if you gave it the blessing, it's your job to say, yo, it's time. It's time for you to get this to the next gear. And he has to be that big bro. That's the only way.
And he has to be that big bro. As far as I'm concerned, you on the basketball court, if cats ain't maximizing their potential, they holding you back. Just like you just brought me up and what have you. You coming on the show, you ain't doing your damn job, you ain't gonna be there. I don't give a damn who you are. I'm like, what? We trying to win. We trying to win. We can't just sit idly by and let anything happen. But look, before I let you get on out of here, you talked about your company. Let's talk about that for a quick second. What is Jay Williams doing with his life outside of ESPN, my brother? What's been going on with you, man?
I'm just trying to bring added value to ESPN. I'm just following your footsteps. I'm just following your
Hmm.
footsteps, man. I happened to work with a dude who was in New York the other day. I'll leave that one to you, SA.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
what's going to happen to your Knicks, but I'll leave that one to you. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
And I'm
Okay.
just, I'm just trying to be a little brother. I'm just trying to find my way. Hopefully, I have my own show like you one day. That's the plan.
Do a lot of things, man. Shoot, I know this much. Anytime anybody wants to talk about a show on business, they should have you. And the world of sports and business intertwining, because sports is business, really. They should be talking to you. Bloomberg should be talking to you. A whole bunch of people should be talking to you, actually. That's my personal opinion. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in the future, because I got some ideas that I want to throw your way.
You
Last
know how I've
thing.
been trying to work. You already know what time of that is with you because I know what you're building. So we on
That's
the
right.
same page. We've
You
been
know,
on the
yeah,
same page. Hey, and by the way, the show's looking the show's looking really good. It's looking really good.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm going to take it to another level. Watch the next few months. I got some stuff down the pike. Trust me on that. We didn't talk about Tyrese Haliburton in this regard. We know that he's leading everybody in assists at 11.8 this postseason. We know that Indiana's up 1-0 on Cleveland, and Cleveland's got some injuries they sustained in game one, plus Darius Garland didn't play. But I never talked to you about your thoughts about Tyrese Halliburton's father and how he got into it with Giannis and what you thought the fallout should have been for the father of Tyrese Haliburton. By the way, I can't applaud Tyrese Haliburton enough. It takes a lot for a kid to come out and say, my dad was wrong. I don't know if anybody, I always respected Tyrese Haliburton, but your respect has to elevate exponentially for a guy that's willing to do that. I mean, it really is. But it was the right thing, in my opinion. What were your thoughts?
I 100% agree with you on that. I think he handled it beautifully and respectfully. And I knew that he called GA. He called Giannis and apologized. Like, and I think I think that takes a grown ass man to do something like that. And as you know, SA, because we come from those type of communities that when you get drafted, you don't get drafted. We made it. We made it, and your
Right.
parents become fixtures in what you do. And a lot of times it's hard to tell the authority figure in your family what time it needs to be. But that's Tyrese Haliburton stepping into his grown ass man shoes. And I'm proud of him for that. I was honest, thank God Giannis has composure. Because if that were somebody like
Oh,
me,
yes.
or say if we on the court, if you're on set and somebody just comes and runs on the set, we might
Yeah.
exchange hands. I don't know who the hell you are. We might
Right.
exchange hands up in my
Right.
face
Right.
with the towel. So I give him grace on how he handled it. But I mean, I also think that Indiana handled it well. I think that ban is what you need to do. It's unfortunate. That's your star player. But I'm sure that they talked to Reese about what they were thinking about doing, and he had to co-sign it. So for me, when your star player co-signs something because his father put himself in that situation, to me, that lets me know that my star player is aligned with my franchise. And that alignment speaks volumes about where I want the future of my franchise to be. I want it to be in his hands because he respects what we're trying to build.
Absolutely. No question about it. Last question. Knicks, Boston series. How long is it going?
I don't think New York's gonna get another one. I'm gonna be there Saturday. You going to the game on Saturday?
Uh, I'll be in LA doing countdown.
Mm, I'll be there.
You knew that. You're just bringing it up to hurt me. You're just bringing it up to hurt me. You know I couldn't be there because I had to be in LA.
I just thought you were gonna be there. I thought you were gonna be, boots on the court. I, I, if
Yeah,
they
man.
get one more essay, I would be shocked. I'm To me, the headline was Boston gave that one away. They gave it
Mm.
away, and I'm commending New
So you
York.
got Boston in five.
I got
You
Boston in
got
five.
Boston in five.
I think this one wakes them up. I know it. I
Okay.
think this one lights a fire under their ass. I know it did for Joe Mazzulla.
Mm. Golden State, Minnesota. How long?
They got Golden State in 7. Can we
Seven.
can we bet
Back
on
in Minnesota, on the road, Minnesota. Second consecutive series. You
7?
got them winning it.
7.
Seven.
Come on, man. Give
Seven.
me a Tom Ford suit. Come on, we can put a Tom Ford suit online.
Okay, we could do, we might be able to do that. Let me ask you this: Is KD gonna be in Houston next year?
Come on, man. I don't want nobody to call me a liar again. I say, come on, man. Take me down that road
Okay.
with him.
Yes.
Is he going to be in Houston next year? If you're Houston, do you want Kevin Durant? I'm asking you.
Okay. Should Houston or Detroit want him?
If I'm Detroit, I like that. I like it for Detroit. If I'm Houston, do I go for Giannis? I'm all in for Giannis before I'm all in for Kevin Durant.
If
I
I'm
think
anybody, I'm all in for Giannis more than I'm all in for Kevin Durant at this stage of their careers.
I
I'm
am.
all in for Giannis. If
You
I'm
see,
anybody.
with the age and with the pieces I got that can play around him, priority one, Giannis. And I actually think if you're Houston, I don't know if I want as great as KD is with the ailments that he's had. I'm not sure at that stage of his career that I want that on my team. And that's not anything to knock Kevin Durant and his leadership abilities and how he plays, because he is a certified bucket getter. But I'm not
Right.
sure that's what Houston needs at this time with what they have.
Jay Williams. Appreciate you, big boy. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, man. Thank you so much. I really need to talk to you. Appreciate it, man.
Always, big bro. Thanks, man.
All right. The one and only Jay Williams, basketball analyst extraordinaire for the family. Always appreciate him. Right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show with the digital airways of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio.